Hi John, this is Dan from Magic Pachinko Restorations. I'm making this short video to give you a glimpse of your machine before you get it and explain a couple of things. Number one, when I ship the machine down here, these stabilization feet, these are the feet that screw right onto the bottom of the case that keep it stable in a freestanding application. I'll have taken those off, and they'll be in the box along with a little bag of screws. Initially, if you're going to leave it freestanding, obviously you just put the feet back on. Down the road, if you build a cabinet, what you're going to want to do is build a cabinet that's about a half an inch bigger on either side and about a half an inch bigger on the top. And you're going to build the cabinet about 8 inches deep. You need it to be deep enough so that when this face here is flush with the cabinet, there's enough space created back to the wall for the guts of the machine so that they don't hit the wall. So that's all there is to it. It's just 4 boards. I just glue them and screw them together and make it nice and square. What I also am shipping for you, because I had some of these made up, this is a cleat hanger, simply a 2x4 cut on a 45. So this one with the angle cut down would be on the back side of your cabinet. This would be the top of your cabinet here, and you would screw this to the top of the cabinet. And then this one would be screwed to the wall like that, so that when you lift the cabinet into place, these just mate right up with each other like this again. And that's all you need. So the cabinet itself just hangs on this hanger. So that's called a cleat. And again, that's in the box when you get it. These are pachinko balls. I had 500 ordered and shipped to you. This is about 750, 800 balls. So you're going to get a bag about this size of pachinko balls. So on the front of this, I told you about the plexiglass. I'm shipping this with a piece of plexiglass that is just short of what you really need. So when you get this out, you're going to measure it this way, and then you're going to measure it this way and add about 1/4 of an inch. If you look right up here, it's about a half an inch short. It needs to be right to the top of the frame. If you notice, I don't know if you can see it on the video, but there's a gap right here. It won't affect the play because the balls don't go any higher than the rail, but you do want your glass or plexiglass to be full size. So again, when you have it cut and measured, this is the measurement side to side. Go about a half inch more over here. All right, so this opens up like this, so you can get at the machine if you need to. You really shouldn't have to, but if you need to. All right, so that's the front of the machine. I'm going to turn it around and show you how to load the pachinko balls and get it ready for play. This one's kind of neat because the guts on it are clear. So if you do go behind it, one thing you will need is some sort of a catch tray. And the tray itself needs to be as wide as from here to here. Losing balls will exit the machine here, and a winning ball will exit the machine here. So you need something that's wide enough to catch the balls as they drop out. Okay, so it'd sit like that and drop out. There are a couple of things missing on this machine. Unfortunately, it's just the nature of the restoration game. And they're dust covers. They're quite often, there originally would have been a cover here that just covers this, made out of this plastic, and there would have been a cover here that covers this. They do not affect the way the machine is played. They were simply to keep dust out of the machine. Sometimes they're just gone for whatever reason, as is this. This is actually was gone on your machine, but I can print these on my 3D printer. That's a track cover. Quite often they're missing too. I don't know why, but they just are. Okay, so up here you've got your 12-volt power supply, and this is wired up into here. All this wiring is new. I redid all the wiring on it. These are LED lights over in here. and there is one incandescent light bulb there. So, oops. Oh, there it is. Okay. So you would just plug this into the wall, and when you do plug it in, you'll notice that these lights will go on. These lights signify that there are no pachinko balls in the machine. So that is controlled by a switch right here. So when this switch is in this position, the lights are on. When the switch is like that, it turns the lights off. You can see the lights going off right here. Okay. So when the pachinko balls go in here, the weight pushes down on this. It lifts this up and closes that switch, which makes the lights go out. Okay. So that's one switch. The other switch is over here, and this switch is set so that when this lifts up, it'll make contact, and it will turn this bulb in the center, and that bulb comes on momentarily when you get a win. Okay, so when you get the machine, you want to make sure everything looks good, nothing is out of position or broken. Hopefully they travel pretty well. Get it plugged in, these lights will be on. Over here is what's called the ball dump mechanism, and you want to take this little tab right here and push it over so that it locks in to this. And what happens now is when the balls go in, they'll go beyond this point into the jackpot chamber. If this is like this, then these little legs will let the balls drop and go out of the machine, and that's how you empty the machine. So that's a maintenance mode. So again, to prepare for play, shove that over, and that'll let the balls go through. The other thing that you want to make sure of is that your seesaw, this is called the seesaw, the white piece here, it goes from this position to this position. So it's in this position, a winning ball comes in, the weight drops it down, the ball continues, and then the machine resets. So the first time you play, you want to make sure the seesaw is up this way to make sure that it's going to receive a ball. And if it is down like that, there's a little push rod here. You just push on the rod and it'll lift that seesaw up into the proper position. So right now, seesaw's up. This is latched. It's ready to accept pachinko balls. So you're going to take the vast majority of the pachinko balls that you have and place them in the upper hopper. So if you could see that, they run out of the hopper, down, go into the turnaround, and fill up the jackpot chamber, and then stop. And that's what it's supposed to do. So now that we've got plenty of pachinko balls in here, you notice that it pushes down on this, lifts up on that, turns the light off. This will keep the light off until these balls get down into this area, and again the weight shift would turn the light on, letting you know that you need more pachinko balls. So right now the machine is ready to play. And the rest of your pachinko balls will go in the feed tray. Now there's a weight shift also internally when there's enough pachinko balls that moves a flag inside here. You may have seen it in the beginning of the video. There was a little flag right in there. Well, it's gone now. It lifts up out of the way when there's enough pachinko balls in here, and you can see, I don't know if you can see it in the video, but you can see down here there's a couple of balls ready to go into the machine. The first time that you load the machine up and try to launch a ball, nothing will happen. It takes one go through to get a ball in onto the launch ramp. So the first time nothing happens. Now there's a ball in there on the launch ramp, so when I do launch it, it will launch the ball. Now that ball was a loser. It dropped right out of the machine. Now you can launch Okay, so we finally got a win. One of the balls dropped in through here, dropped in. This will turn depending on the way it's set up. Drop down through and open the tulips. When the tulips are open, it's much easier to win. When they're closed, it's a lot tougher to win. You will lose a lot more than you'll win. It's just the nature of the pachinko. Obviously, the parlors didn't want to have winners. They wanted losers. So that's how you do it. You can, if you push all the way down and let go, it's going to come all the way across to this side. If you don't quite push all the way, it'll tend to stay on the other side. So that's really about the only control that you have over the machine. And again, you can launch them one at a time, or you can just continue to launch balls. So there you have it. That's your machine. If you have any questions, contact me. Enjoy.